Hello everyone, this has been The Bold, and welcome to a brand new playthrough of Imperator Rome. So, I have recently finished my Iceni Rises campaign, where I took the lovely nation, the lovely tribe, that is, of Iceni, and we conquered the British Isles. We also conquered a good chunk of Northern Europe. I have also completed now my Very Tall Sicily campaign, where we intentionally did not take any territory outside of the island of Sicily, with the exception of the very, very last couple months of the campaign, where, just to rub it in Carthage's face, we actually took Carthage. In that spirit, I also am working on a Carthage playthrough right now of the new Livy update. You should definitely check that out. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something I have never done before, and that is play as a migratory tribe. I have been looking around for some, helpful information as to play migratory tribes, specifically, helpful YouTube videos, and there doesn't seem to be too much new, especially not with the brand new Livy updates. So, I am going to go ahead and play as the Varnian people up here on the North Germanic Baltic coast, just south of Denmark and Sweden. So, we are the Varnians. I'm going to go ahead and hit that Iron Man mode. Our first tribal chief is going to be named Waldrand. Ooh, I like that. It's a little bit easier to pronounce than some of the Carthaginian names I'm working on. And let's go ahead and begin. I'm just going to call it Varnia. Alright, so let us assess our nation. So first of all, we are predominantly tribesmen. We do have a couple slaves, couple citizens, and I guess just one freeman in the entire country. So, that's not great. I mean, but here's the thing. I'm going to really lean into the whole migratory tribe vibe. So I'm actually okay with tribesman pops, because that's, well, what I'm going to have. So let's go ahead and work on, it looks like our capital is in this province that I only own just a little bit. So let's go ahead and get it some imports. I think that's a good way to start this. I think going ahead and getting some furs in the capital is a good idea. And what else can I grab? Some hemp. That's local slave output. Not interested in that. It would be nice. Some woad. Woad is local tribesman happiness up by 10%. Each surplus is going to help me out. Well, I got a bunch of tribesmen, so I'll go ahead and grab some woad. I'm going to grab it from East Gothia. Perfect. Alright, so what's next? We have an unmarried ruler. Well, he's 25 years old. We can sort that out, can't we? Let's see. Ooh, you are a Casthlid. You are a very nice potential mate for our tribal king? Yeah, he's a tribal warlord, tribal chief. There we go. I also want to go ahead and pick an omen. Alright, so I've never played as the Twistic religion before. I haven't played up here in the Germanic region yet. So let's see. I could get global monthly food modifier, corruption down. Both of those are okay. National tribesman output. I'm going to have a bunch of tribesmen, so that might actually be the way to go, especially to start off. No Casus Belli war cost. Interesting. So I could just start declaring war all over the place. Interesting. Very fun. Ruler popularity gain would be good as well. Let's see. How is my ruler? Is he pretty popular? Not really. I think I'm still going to go with the national tribesman output, though. Just seems to be the way to go. And then so we are a migratory tribe, which means we just get these 2 military idea slots. So I guess I'll go ahead and do morale of armies. And since I don't necessarily know if I plan on building a ton of ships, especially early on, I'm going to go with ordered retreat. That's also going to give me national tribesman output up by 15%. So that, along with my omen, my tribesmen should be, well, very useful. I take it this... Alright, so I have 3 separate armies here. Only one of them belongs to me. Let's go ahead and just move the 2 that don't belong to me out somewhere else where they won't take attrition, but also where they can feel free to grow their armies on their own. I can add some men to their armies, but they are going to add men themselves as well. We are looking to stay a migratory tribe, so we are going to want to actually tank our centralization. We are currently at -50, so it's pretty low at the moment. But basically what that means is if we can tank the centralization so that we become even less centralized than we are, well, then our clan retinues will become just absolutely huge. Plus, we will get additional output from our tribesmen, and this migratory cost will go down by minus 25%. So at some point, we could decide, if we don't like the territory we're in, to just pick up our tents and our huts and all of our roots and just migrate somewhere else. Who knows where we could go, even maybe try to come down here into some of the more civilized land. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all goes. For the time being, though, we need to get some more pops under our control. So we need to think about avenues for potential expansion. Maybe I should have gone ahead and taken that that war score or that omen. Well, I can't open my omens at the moment, but that omen that would have made it less terrible if I declared a no CB war. Oh well. Let's see, what else do we need to do? We are playing on the Livy update, so we do have missions, and we have this only one mission, and it's called The Matter of Germania. So our fortunes await in foreign lands. The Germanian region has been considered part of our borders, yet much of it remains beyond our control. Make sure that it is brought under our influence one way or another. So the completion criteria, this mission will be considered complete when the entire region of Germania is under Valyrian influence. Alright, let's go ahead and start that mission since it's the only mission we have. And right away, it actually looks like we can click this button, and in 365 days, we will get a claim on 3 different regions. So I'm going to go ahead and click the button now. And let's see, what else? I guess I should go ahead and put a general in charge of my own country. I'm going to go ahead and choose myself. I feel like I am a worthy ruler, a worthy general with that 11 martial score. And I'm going to go ahead and drill the army. Well, actually, I'm going to hold off on drilling the army for a second. I'm going to add some cohorts to the army. So right away, well, let's actually take a look. I'm not making a ton of money, and I think I'll probably want one of those supply wagons. This is relatively early on. I'm still not 100% sure how the whole Livy supply wagon thing works yet. I'm recording this actually on the Livy release date, so I haven't played around too much with it. Forgive me, I will surely get better at it as time moves on. So I'm going to go ahead and build, I think 1 supply train would be good. I think that would allow me to basically be able to travel, especially since all of these cohorts that I can build are, they don't take a ton of attrition, right? So okay, monthly food consumption 0.1, monthly food consumption 0.2, monthly food consumption 0.1. Alright, so they don't take a ton of food, so having 1 supply wagon would basically sure me up for quite some time with a pretty large army. So I'm going to go ahead and build, let's do a couple slingers and a couple skirmishers. And I don't think that will bankrupt me too much. We'll have to see though. Again, the big thing about the migratory tribes is that I'm not going to have a ton of manpower. I'm not going to have a huge army for my tribal chief, but with all my tribal clan members, we should be able to produce a rather sizable army. I'm going to go ahead and just for now disband our navy. We don't need it at the moment. No reason to spend any money on it. I could also think about going ahead and saying harsh taxation. I would get national slave output up by 10%. That really actually isn't that useful as a tribe because I only have like, what, 4 slaves total? So, but I'm also not going to be taking out a ton of research points. Let's look at the research technology. Yeah, so it says that I'm getting 0.2 research points per month. So my first martial advance will be done in 584. So we're talking over 130 years from now. That's not exactly anything super quick. I can go ahead and grab some inventions, which I do think I'm going to do. I'm specifically looking at the supply limit invention, as well as the omen power invention. And that's where I'm going to go ahead. Well, that's all the money I have for now. Let's go ahead and unpause as we, well, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and unpause as we talk about future areas of expansion. And I know right away that I want to expand and try to take this little nation as well as this country. So let's take a look at their diplomacy. So you are not allied with anyone. I can't declare war on anyone before November 1st. So let's go ahead and run the game up until November 1st. They're going to go ahead and grab their 2 idea slots as well. Good for them, I guess. A matter of Germania. Alright, so the region of Germania has remained a valuable source of trade and commerce for our nation for many long years. Many amongst the clan council insist that such a bountiful land would serve much better purpose if fully integrated under the Varangian banner. Of course, as with all matters of state, there are many in opposition, claiming that a healthy relationship with our neighbors is far more important than a wanton land grab. The leaders of each side have presented their arguments and asked for an arbitration as to which method would be more appropriate in our dealings with the various states resident in Germania. So, alright, so interesting. So we will shift towards a more peaceful approach to our dealings, or we will shift towards a more warlike. Well, we are definitely going to shift towards a more warlike approach to our dealings with the people of Germania. I'm going to hope that not everyone allies up. In fact, maybe I should be allying up. Let's go ahead and say that you would be a fine ally. And I'm thinking maybe you up here would be a decent ally. Ooh, I really like your flag. Oh, Anglia. Alright. I love their flag. Heck, if I had seen that, I might have decided to try this as the Anglians first. But we are, of course, the Varnians. Alright, so we're still waiting until November 1st. We're going to have that bad research ratio up there the entire game, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And it is now November 1st, so we can declare war, right? You have a Casus Belli against the Anglians. Well, I am going to go ahead and try to grab a Casus Belli as well. I'm going to summon a War Council. I want to remember your names. You are the Reudigans? Sorry, my pronunciation's terrible. Also, you are the Langobardians. Alright, so I could be down for either the Langobardians or the... oh, whatever their name is. So, let's go ahead and hit this Summon War Council. So, basically we must prepare for war with Langobardia, or we could, a claim on Rugian land must be made. So where is Rugia? Claims the Rugian province of Ferodinian. Where's Ferodinian? Let's take a look at our provinces. Oh. You are the Rugians. Alright, so we could definitely take these 3 territories from Rugia. That would be beneficial, of course. Although you are still who I want to declare war on. What would happen if I just did it? I'm going to go ahead and get a claim on Langobardia. Ooh, if I waited till the 22nd, I could have the Anglians join me. Although, would they just take a bunch of the land for themselves? That's the real question. I would lose a ton of stability, but I think I could deal with that. Neither would join if I declared war on you. You also only have 4 cohorts, though. I could try to just go ahead and blitz it. Maybe I should have gone with the Rugians. Ooh, the Burgundians up here in Sweden. You know what? I'll go ahead and accept that alliance. Alright, so it seems like the AI is trying to ally up. So if we're going to do this, we need to do it now. You have just declared... you have just gotten an alliance. You have an alliance too with the Simonians. Well, that was a mistake. So looks like I will be waiting until November the 22nd to see if I can get the Anglians to join with me. And we're just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to bring in the Burgundians and the Anglians, and we are just going to No CB war, so I already regret not grabbing that omen, but alas, here we go. We are going to be heavily penalized with our stability. We're going to gain some more exhaustion, but honestly, we have decent stability at the moment, so I think we're going to be in good shape. Here we go. Alright, stability has hurt. Let's go ahead and call you to arms. And let's go ahead and bring all of our armies together. I was hoping my tribal vassals would have taken a little bit more time to recruit some men for themselves, but alas, it does not seem like that is something they were interested in. We are going to go ahead and take some territory, which is good. Let's go ahead and combine the armies that we can. And let's go ahead and march straight for their capital fort. Who else are we at war with? Alright, so, sounding out the opposition. Debate has raged for many years over our rocky relationship with the nation-states resident in Germania. Angrivarnia, a nation many in Varnia call a friend, stands well placed to provide us with assistance in our endeavors to control Germania. Many of our more warlike advisors, however, seem intent on burning all bridges and laying waste to Angravarian lands in an effort to further advance our case. Ooh, I love how warlike these people are. So, where are the Angravarians, first of all? I don't necessarily see them. Alright, well, let's find them. Okay, so they're over here. You know what? I don't really care if they don't like us. We're going to take a more warlike approach with them. Ooh. My supply wagon was not finished in time. So I am going to take some attrition. I thought my supply wagon was probably finished. Alright, the treasury of Igmantum. It seems Igmantum has gotten his hands on a lot of wealth. Well, what shall he do with it? We could gain all of 3 gold. Well, I think we're actually going to need that 3 gold. So we're going to get some tyranny. Just going to go ahead and say that that's fine. And we have taken a prisoner. Perfect, I guess. You know what? I'm actually just going to go ahead and order this assault. They only had 400 men in their fort, and since we didn't have our supply wagon, I didn't want to take a ton of attrition. Ooh, because we have the cruel trait, we can use this none. Oh no, that would give us the cruel trait. Okay, so we would gain, our family would gain 10 prestige. I think that is probably really good in a tribal, migratory tribe. Again, all right, so family prestige, I know in the older version of the game really didn't do much. It is my hope that in the Livy update, I believe I heard something about it now being at least kind of important. So gaining 10 family prestige, I'm going to pretend like that is good. Although 4 Swabian freemen are killed. I'm going to do it. Alright, so we won the siege. We'll wait for our supply wagon. You can see that the city is burning. So let's deselect you, combine. Alright, so now our supply wagon is in our first war host. And now, who else are we at war against? You. Where are you? Alright, so you are based on these little islands. Alright. We can take you. don't necessarily know if I want the islands, but I definitely want to go ahead and end this war as fast as possible. And I might as well help the Anglians while I'm at it. I do enjoy having decent-ish allies. We unfortunately are going to have a huge tactics disadvantage here. And I believe, even though we vastly outnumber them, we're actually going to lose this fight. We'll have to see, though. They get some reinforcements. Look at our archers running into the fray. Our army composition should be good enough to handle them. Oh, no! That cohort of archers just absolutely devastated our men. I guess it was because it was a full 1,000 men strong, and it was full morale. So our troops flee in abject terror. I don't really know what happened there. I guess I just wasn't full morale. I don't want him to gain the coward trait. You know what? There's only a 20% chance he'll die. And, alright, he lived. And what trait did he get? Cruel, reckless, ambitious. Oh, I guess we don't know. Anyway, we're going to have to retreat away. That's fine. Hopefully the Anglians will be able to handle this. The Redugians, they are pretty much out of the fight, I do not believe. In fact, they're just training a... looks like a supply wagon, so... kudos, they can do that. We've taken a couple victories, we have a positive war score. We hold this fortress, which is probably the most important thing. And I guess we just engaged their army while our army was not at full morale. So let's go ahead and start marching it back towards the territory we indeed need to take. We have quite a bit of money now, which means we can start to afford some things like... ooh, which would be better? Income? Alright, so national tax rate would be better. Positive national tax rate. Let's also go ahead and get the national tribesman output. Let's just go ahead and make these pops as efficient as possible. As far as our army is concerned, we are currently gaining food. I think once we go to full morale, our army will be nigh unbeatable, at least in this war. I don't think that they have enough men to really stand up to us. We should be wary, though. At any moment, all these Germanic tribes love to go to war, you know? I'm going to go ahead and march my cohorts in. I think we are in decent enough morale to where we can stand up to a measly 2,000 of their troops. The clan council speaks. The Varnian gains enhanced militarization, so that really hurts our diplomatic reputation. Oh well, we are not exactly a well-liked people. We are a warlike people. This is fun. I love how, like, intense they are. Religious festival? Alright, we could lose 21 gold. We have that gold to lose. We'll gain 5 stability. I could use the stability, that's for sure. Although monthly centralization plus 0.03. Don't want that. We'll lose... I think we're just going to lose the 10 gold, gain the 5 stability. Perfect. I also should have done this earlier, but let's look at our laws, because I will be wanting to take... I think I'm going to go down this route, which gives me negative centralization, which for a migratory tribe, negative centralization is fine. Adopt human sacrifices. Ooh, man. I wonder if we get any, like, cool events with that. That would be fun. I encourage syncretism, so that would give us wrong culture group happiness plus 15%. So that might be good at some point. I think for now I'm going to go with... or I could come down here. Increase national tax rate. Alright, so... ooh. Closed society, primary culture happiness, plus 10%, monthly centralization. Alright, so the question is, I know eventually I'm going to grab all of these, but at the current moment, which one do I want first? Monthly clan chief loyalty plus 0.05. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. Power to the mighty. Unfortunately, I probably should have looked at that a little closer because, well, I have just reduced my stability even more. And after that no CB war, I've reduced it quite a bit already. We've captured someone else. Is there anything I can do to you? I can banish you, but I don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and capture this territory. I love that we are I guess, currently eating our own food. Or no, we're actually in a province where the food supply is changing in the positive way. Fine. So we now fully control the war goal. Can we go ahead and sue for peace? Alright. No, they are not ready for that at all. Alright. That's fine. We will just take the fight to them. We're going to fight this. Ooh, we should also look into changing our tactics. It looks like this is going to be a relatively easy victory, although, is that... Alright, just 600 men coming to their aid. Those 600 men come in during a clutch time in the battle, though. I believe... No, so our generals are pretty even. Ooh, this one's going to be really close. We are losing about as many men as they are. We have our allies coming in from afar, but I don't think they're going to be able to do much good. Our supply wagons have just been taken out. A child has been born. Ooh, it's a son. I'm going to name him Marco. Alright, now it looks like this last cohort of archers is actually going to go ahead and tank this victory for us. Good job. We lost a ton of troops. They did too, although... And now the winter storms are coming. I guess I will... Let's go ahead and move in and help here. I love the blizzard. I love the map in Imperator Rome. It's just, an amazing map. Anything? I guess I could get starting experience up. Diplomatic reputation. I definitely need that after all of the war mongering I've been doing. I'm gonna go ahead and go with starting experience up. And I'm just gonna continue to fight this fight. We just attacked a supply train, so that was easy. I wish you could just like blatantly capture supply trains. Like if you ran into a supply train like that, or even defeated an army, you could like capture. You had a percent chance to capture a supply train, so it didn't happen all the time. Let's see. Are you a little bit more willing to go to peace yet? No, you're still very upset about that kind of peaceful talk. Go ahead and move all of our forces forward. Oh, what are you? Oh, am I at war with someone else now? I am. Langobardians. Alright, so now I must go and attack the Langobards. Alright, well hopefully the Anglicans will be able to do some work. Although it looks like you are actually in a new war, so... Yeah, Herulia is pretty much done, so I just need to worry about the Langobardians now. One of our pops unfortunately died. They only have 6 cohorts. Well, it says they only have 6 cohorts. The fact that they all have these tribal vassals really does make it much more difficult than that. Looks like we are going to catch them here. And in catching them, we should wipe this 2,000 stack out. They have the better tactic. We got to change from shock action. That's just not doing us any favors, is it? Either way, we do win that fight. Let's select you. Change you from shock action to something better, like skirmishing. Who would have thought? Maybe we are skirmishing people. Honestly, I'm all for it if the Langobardians want to get involved in this war, because I think I can still win it. And as long as, if I can, then if I can take some Langobard territory off of them, especially I would like at least everything on my side of this major river here. I'll tell you what, our movement speed is not great, is it? We are very slow. And I don't think we're going to be building any roads anytime soon. So it appears they are unable to siege down this fort. Also, they will eventually start taking some attrition. So I actually think taking forts has been made much more interesting in the Livy update of the game, because if you don't have, for instance, if you don't have a supply train, then taking a fort is just impossible, really. I mean, not really. You could just overwhelm it with numbers, you could attack it, but I think forts could be used potentially as a strong, like, offensive weapon to help just completely tear down opponents' armies. If you built forts of several fort levels up, as long as, you know, if they can't siege down your fort because they don't have enough pops, then, well, because they don't have enough soldiers, and they don't have enough food, rather, and they run out of food and they can't siege down the fort, then, well, hey, you could get into a situation where their armies just are bled dry on your forts. And I think that's a really cool thing. Meanwhile, I really like the fact that my army is currently not just suffering through horrible attrition, because we have plenty of food. Oh, I bet the reason we're traveling so slow is because even though we are made of mostly, if not completely, light infantry, we have one of these supply wagons, and it moves super slow. Army maneuver speed 2.5. Okay, so actually all of them are 2.5. They are ravaging our land, that is true, but you know what? Our land's not super valuable right now anyway. I think it's more important that I knock their fort out of the game. Looks like our armies in Anglia are going to take a victory, that's good. Someone wants to do some trading with us, you know what? We'll give them some woad. That's going to increase the national tribesman happiness, and I'm all for that. Yeah, when we have this supply train, we're just... The food supply changes by negative 0.7 per month, and we have currently 59 food, so we're good to go as far as food's concerned. In fact, we probably would have been good to go without the supply wagon, but I didn't know that for sure when we started. And so this is just where we are. Looks like I could get a gift worth its weight in gold. I could get some political influence, or we can lose some corruption. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and gain some corruption, grab some gold, and now, ooh, something that I didn't do. Let's go ahead and we are accepting just any trade offer automatically unless we lose our capital bonus, and yeah, we're not allowing any trade offers that would make us lose our capital bonus. Cool. Gonna go ahead and grab another invention, specifically army morale recovery, since that is just creeping at the moment. Let's also grab diplomatic reputation so the less people might declare war on us, and let's get claim fabrication speed. All these techs are super, super cheap, and unfortunately these are the last inventions I'm going to get for quite some time. But this is the nature of how you play as a tribe, right? You don't really tech up. You rely on those silly tribesmen. You overwhelm your enemies with numbers. Which, I don't know. I like the fact that if I wanted to, I could make them a, you know, heavily centralized, like, empire, turn them into a kingdom, maybe even a republic, but I can also make them as they were, and as they should be, just this backwards tribe in North Germany that will eventually, hopefully, do a number on some of the major empires in the world. With this being one of the first Livy games I've played, I'm also excited to see how the Punic Wars shape up. I would love to see Carthage expand in a very historical manner, especially up into Iberia. I would love, love, love to see Rome expand in a historical manner, which is not easy. It's not even easy for a human to capture as much territory as Rome historically did in the time period that the game allows. But it's been definitely very difficult for the AI to do it, which I think we should just go ahead and say that that's not necessarily on the game design, but we should just recognize that the Romans in their day were just insane. They conquered everything. They obviously took some punches as well. You know what? We have the money now, and we're not going to be spending. All right, so we actually did sack Langobardia. I'm going to go ahead and just let the looting be gentle, I think. Yeah, because hopefully I'm going to be adding these people to our nation. Let's go ahead and let's see. So it's the Herulia, which you are still at war with just a ton of people, including me from both sides, because the Burgundians, they are ready to invade as well. I think because so much of my land has been occupied, that's why I'm currently not doing so great with war score. Let's hope that our allies can win this fight. It does look like they'll be able to. That's great. Let's not just march one army, let's march all of them. Alright, do I want to go north and deal with the Herulians? Or do I want to travel south and deal with the Langobards? I'm going to actually go north still. I want to make sure that I take care of them while I can. And I don't think the Langobards are going to be able to take their fort back. Although this fort is better maintained than this one. It only has 200 soldiers in it, so this was actually probably a mistake, because they actually could siege that back. They could just assault the fort. Either way, we're going to come up here. We're going to try to grab an early victory. We're using the skirmishing tactic. It seems to be working fine. Let's just not have our supply train in the fight, please. And indeed, we did win. We lost 666. They lost just under 1,000. And it says we're actually losing the war. Well, oh, it's because we lost the ticking war score from the completely... Well, no, we actually don't have a war goal, do we? Because I declared a no CB war, so this is just based on conquest. They're still not willing to make any concessions, so we will just continue on. I'm going to go ahead and try to end the Langobards' day. I think that's probably the best way to do this. If we can concentrate on the south, take all of this land, force them north, we'll have to retake our land at some point. Let's go ahead and just grab all of the rest of these inventions. They're all cheap. And we won't have any more inventions for quite some time. Alright, so I'm just going to sit here. I'll be happy to take this in the forests. They're going to get a -1 penalty. We have a better general. They have more men, though. So let's go ahead and look at this. Alright, so that's unfortunate. They have the deception tactic, which is going to do a world of hurt against us. I still think we're going to win it. We're just going to lose more men in the process. I'll tell you what, their heavy cavalry is... for real, isn't it? But now that the heavy cavalry's gone, we are victorious. They lost a couple hundred more men than we did. We preferably would like to go ahead and just wreck their day. I'll go ahead and trade away the fish. That's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and retake the territory that belongs rightfully to us, and then hopefully they will be ready to peace out by then. After all, we have done quite a number on their countries. We completely occupy both the Langobards as well as the Redugians, and I would say that that would be a successful first episode if we could take those two territories. We would be not unstoppable, of course, but I do believe that they are... Yeah, so they're of my culture group. They're also of my religion. Oh, and it looks like everyone for quite a while is... We are the Swabians, so the Vandals, the Gothonics, the Herillians. They're slightly different, but they're of our primary culture group. Unfortunately, we are beginning to run out of manpower. I mean, we've been out of manpower for a while, but we're beginning to actually run low on our actual army. So I definitely want to deal with this stack of 6,000 men before they are able to regain much more of their morale. A little worried about that. Yeah, they're going to be practically at full morale by the time I get there. We're going to try it. We're going to try to knock them off down a peg. Let's think for a second about what tactic they might be using. I think skirmishing is still just going to be our best bet. What's good against skirmishing? So as long as they're not deception, we'll be fine. And the game thinks we're going to win it, so excellent land management. We have received happy news from the province of Ferodinium, where local officials report consistently abundant harvests after experimenting with new methods of land management. Good! Leaving them to their work will no doubt swell the food stores of the province, but the managers and their practices might be more useful if they're distributed across all the farmlands. So they would get local food, monthly food modifier plus 10% until the end of the game. I like the end of the game option, so let's just do that. Yeah, we're going to easily beat these 800 men. That's not going to be a problem at all. They are now going to attack us after we've defeated 800 of their men. If I attack them here with the game, it doesn't know who will win. Alright, so let's just be happy to regain some of our territory real fast. So they would accept this peace deal. That peace deal is over 100. So alright, they're getting closer. This is the deal I want. I want to take all this land on my side of the river. So they're getting closer. If we retake a few more of our provinces, maybe we'll be in decent shape. Looks like they're going to take a fight. We're closer. They're going to lose this, though. Let's see. If I were to march in to help, I don't think I'll get there in time. Come on, hold out for a little while longer, guys. Hold out for a little while longer. I can't see... Oh, I think I am going to get there in time. That's going to should change the tide of this fight. Indeed, it will. And a lot that they have remaining are just those silly supply wagon units, so we are going to be victorious. Let's go ahead and keep sieging down some of our territory. Unfortunately, they retook one of their provinces down here in the south. And they're having to retreat into Simonian lands. Let's see who that is, right? Yeah, it's the Simonians. Let's just keep going and retake the territory that is rightfully ours. This territory is going to go ahead and auto-convert back to us because we have this fort here. That's 67 war score. Well, I definitely want to wait until we would get this province back. Alright, so they won't take this yet. Yet. That's the key word there. I still have a couple provinces to retake. A couple of my own provinces to retake, and then we can keep trying to push onwards into Hyrulean lands, but honestly, I just don't know if that's really worth it. Oh, a petitioner approaches. I could have him sacrifice to the dark gods. The chief of the Malogri clan gets killed. You know what? I think I'm going to be happy about... because he's a clan chief. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and be happy that he's going to give me some money. Plus, be a little bit more loyal. Money's good. Money allows me to build things in my settlements. For instance, buildings like this, the tribal settlement, which gives the following benefits: ups my population capacity, as well as I get the local tribesman output and their happiness up. So I can make these, if I start stacking enough little benefits or modifiers, I can make these tribesmen pretty impactful. They still don't want this, but they are very, very close. I think if I just retake my last little province here, we'll be fine. And if my armies wouldn't lose any fights, please don't lose this. If my allies lose this, then I'll probably have to fight them in one more big battle. So far, so good. Looks like their morale is suffering more than ours. Looks like you have come back. Alright, let's try this again. Sue for peace. Oh, it's so close. 110 to 110. It's tied. Alright, let's go chase you away. We're going to win that fight. If that fight ends before that siege does, we'll be in good shape. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Alright, so I want to go ahead and chase them back. We're going to lose this fight. Unfortunately, we did lose there, which means our war score has actually gone down a little bit more. I would love to kick you all out of Simonia, because I don't have military access with Simonians. I think we'll win this fight, though. Maybe. We'll have to see. I wish the Burgundians would take their 5,000 men, and because they're in this war, right? Yeah, you're in this war. Why are you not doing anything? Have you lost any troops in this fight? Alright, they'll take this peace deal now. Good riddance. And the first war is done. We have to decide what to do with the Burgundian elite, and we are going to go ahead and banish those of class and put the rest to the sword. So, there we have it. We have expanded the borders of Varnia. It was definitely a costly war. We need to go ahead and find a place where we won't take attrition. Like here. I guess we're actually not taking attrition there either. We're just resupplying our food stores. So we have a couple things we need to do when we come back, but that is where I'm going to end it here. We are the Varnian people, and from humble beginnings, we will, of course, rise. So, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit me up with that like button. It really does help. Also, I just love to see the like buttons coming in. And then, of course, you can subscribe if you want to, if you like the videos I make. That would be great. Anyway, I hope you're having a good one, and I will see you on the next one.